Sup subs?
What's up, YouTube? We're back with another video. This time it's a Q&A with my roommate, Ryan Bush. Alright, that'll work.
Sometimes you gotta wait for the good thing. Feel like we're going round and around, but sometimes you gotta wait for the good thing. But sometimes you gotta wait for the good thing.
We're just gonna jump into it. I'll let Ryan kind of give an introduction of himself, and then we'll jump into the questions.
All right, well, I'm Ryan Bush. I'm a junior here at Lipscomb University. I'm running both track and cross with Zach and the rest of the boys, and main event is the 800. I'm majoring in mechanical engineering. My hometown is Mission Viejo, California. Yeah,
It's
pretty basic introduction.
Before we get started, I do want to clarify that is the door to our room. Everything you're not seeing is just all the junk that was on this side of the room. It's a definite fire hazard. First question, favorite TV show?
I mean, it's just in terms of like the amount of times I've watched it, The Office by far.
Yeah, that's fair. It comes down to 3 shows for me, maybe 4, but 3 come to mind. Suits, which which I've been binging the last 4 days or so.
Already midway through season 2 over here.
That's good progress. The Flash, which you've also watched.
I've seen parts of it.
Yeah, and then One Tree Hill. I don't know if you guys know that show.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's on this. It used to be on the CW, and it's very dramatic. Some like 25, 30-year-olds playing high schoolers. So what could go wrong there?
All right, who is the messiest on a scale of 1 to 10?
I think that's you. But it's not by far.
I'm not gonna disagree with that. I mean, yeah, I have my pile on my desk every now and then.
We definitely both have our piles. Someone
Yours is
organized
over
that
by
pile.
the bed, and mine's over here.
Yeah, it's like somebody organized that pile, and okay, he just finished like a workout. That's kind of the difference. Next question: how did y'all become roommates?
Well, last year I was in the triple 332 with Sam and Ben, and they moved on to the village to greener pastures while we're still here in Sewell, which is Sewell. So
yeah, it just kind of happened. I was roommates with Patrick last year, and he went to the village. We're just here stuck in the gulag.
Let's see, what is something you've noticed about each other?
Ooh.
Nah, have a good one.
You can start.
For Zach, it's very, very specific gestures, like bushy boy. Hold on, like with the hands, he'll do that.
Oh,
or
yeah.
like specific like facial gestures, like, or it's like the classic Zach gestures and glances. Yeah, or like when he's making fun of me all the time.
I would say most of it is probably just when we're messing with each other because it's so much just quality time, I'd say. Like one-on-one where we're giving each other a hard time or just in like the day-to-day stuff.
Yeah.
Who wakes up earlier? All right, I'm going to jump in just because Bushy definitely wakes up earlier, but that's not necessarily because I'm sleeping in. I am sleeping in.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
But right now, I don't really have a motivation to get up early just because like I'm injured, so I cross-train later in the day. I haven't started work yet, and with my MBA, I didn't have no classes except for like once or twice a week, and it's at night. Bush is usually up and at it.
Yeah, I get he doesn't have motivation to get up yet, but example this week, I got up at 5:20 to go cross-train. I come back, still in bed. It's understandable, I get back at like 7:15. He's still in bed, that's fine. I have an 8 a.m. at 9 a.m. So I go to class, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, come back, still in bed. I go see the trainer at 10 o'clock, come back, still in bed. At this time it's almost.
That's definitely the worst day of the week.
It's almost 11 a.m.
That was the worst day of the week. Come on, that's.
It'll change. It'll change once you start working. How many times a day does Bushy say he's on the grind?
Yeah.
Common phrase.
Yeah. Just for clarification, Ryan is studying engineering, so definitely some of the harder courses Lipscomb has to offer, and one of the harder majors. But he does like to say, like, I'm getting on my grind. Like, I'm going to go study for what he thinks maybe like 10 hours.
I overhype it, I admit it.
Yeah,
I know I do.
It's probably at least, on average, 2 or 3 times a day. That'll be like a day where there's once or not at all. And then like a Friday or Saturday, it's like 5
time to get
times.
on the grind.
Yeah, exactly. All right, next question. Any romantic interests in your roommate's life? Well, if you, it'll be news to me.
Single and looking.
I've been really trying, baby.
Yeah, I guess so. Just chilling right now. Yeah, we'll keep it at that. What's the next question?
All right, this one's got to be directed towards you, but do you play soccer now?
Oh,
Did you intentionally wear that today?
no, I didn't. But it works. No, I do not play soccer, obviously, but I do love supporting the other teams on campus, specifically the soccer programs. They've been to the tournament several times in the past couple of years since I've been here, so it's just fun to support them, and I have good friends on those teams. When's your birthday?
July 9th, 2000. I'm a 21st century baby.
There's a distinct difference between 1999 and 2000 babies, that is for sure. Mine is September 17th. So, there you go, folks.
What is your pre-practice or pre-race routine?
Man, it's been a minute since I've even gotten ready for a practice just with this injury, but I'd say it both start out like a big focus on just like what I'm eating and hydrating before practices and races. Usually for me the staples are like French toast, some scrambled eggs, or just like a PB&J, great Powerade or great Pedialyte, and just a ton of water. I try to do a good amount of like hip activation stuff, getting ready for workouts, just to make sure things are functioning.
Man, for me, I don't really have there's kind of a practice routine with
Yeah.
like eating and stuff, but like the biggest routine for me is for sure with racing. I would say it's more like I'll eat a very specific like dinner, which varies, when in college, since we're traveling, go to different
Yeah.
spots. But like I'll try to eat something pretty safe, like at Olive Garden or something. I usually take an ice bath, go raid the ice machine at a hotel, dump it in a bathtub, and get it in 10 to 12 minutes. I'll find like one song.
One song for the whole
And
weekend.
for those of you that know me, you know it's by Kaleo. I'll find one of their songs and I'll get hyped up for the race listening to that on repeat.
There's going to be more questions about that down the road. What's Bushy's definition of real music? Like the 30-second version.
The 30-second version. All right. To me, my opinion
Mm-hmm.
on what real music is, all natural acoustic kind of stuff. So, like real instruments.
Yeah.
I'm talking like non-computerized, no auto-tune, just like raw talent. If you had to get a tattoo, what, where, and why?
So, I dealt with this question 2 years ago. I was really seriously considering getting a tattoo, and the what would be an arrow, potentially an arrow on fire. That's like kind of sketchy.
This is inspired by Arrow.
No, it's not inspired by a TV show. It would probably be like on my rib cage. And why? I was at the Passion Conference in January of 2018, I believe it was, and there they talked about how as Christians we're meant to be arrows in God's quiver, and we're set on fire and sent out into the world to spread his message. And so that's kind of the meaning behind that for me. And then one I've always joked around with my mom about is if I eventually qualified for the Olympics one day, if she would have let me get the Olympic rings on my back. But that's just one that has always been, that's kind of been one I've talked about for like 10 years now with my mom. So yeah.
Man, for me, I actually, about 2 years ago, right when I started going to college, I've actually been thinking about this. I haven't done it. I don't know if I ever will. But I got a little prop. But going back to Bible freshman year, I'd get this word tattooed on my back left shoulder. It translates, it's called Peshuo, that's the word. And it translates to put faith in, to believe in, or to trust in. And it implies God, as in, and so that's using the New Testament of the Bible. And to me, part of my testimony, part of my story, and how God's worked in my life, through, my surgery and medical complications when I was little, and just other events that have gone through my life. Putting that faith in God, trusting in God, believing in God was integral to not only overcoming those challenges, but just to grow in my faith in those challenges. And so for me, it would just be kind of a constant reminder, like, when things get hard, when things don't go your way, or even just when things are going great, continue to put your faith in, to believe in, and to put your trust in Christ. And so it just kind of be like a physical reminder just to have on me, just like I'm putting my faith in Christ. And so in addition to having that reminder, kind of like in addition to, or somewhat like Zach's reasoning, is it would be, an opportunity for me to share my faith with someone who asked about it too.
Why does Bushy have the worst music taste opinions in the world?
That's got to be Cham. There's no,
Yeah, that's definitely
there's
Cham.
no
I
way
remember
it isn't.
Sam sending that in. I'll answer that for I'll just answer the generic question. I do not think Ryan has the worst music taste. He has a very specific music taste,
It's true.
even down to one artist.
It's true.
So it's not the worst music taste, just very specific. And then opinions in the world, that's just a cheap shot. I don't think you can say
on,
somebody has the worst opinions. They're opinions for a reason.
All right, next question. Chipotle or Qdoba?
So I have not had Qdoba, but I love Chipotle. I don't eat it all the time. I'm not a fanatic, but whenever someone says, "Hey, you want to go to Chipotle?" I'm like, "Oh, I haven't been to Chipotle in a minute." I think it's a good choice.
Yeah, I'd honestly say Chipotle too. I don't think Qdoba gets a fair shake on this one because I've only been there like once or twice in my life. So, I think it's a little bit of an unfair comparison, but I'm going to go with Chipotle on that one.
Biggest thing you've learned from college? That can be kind of deep.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll say I don't think it can be one thing, or maybe it can be. I don't know. We've had similar journeys in college just with injuries and just things that have taken place in our lives at different times, obviously. But I would say the biggest thing I've learned from college is hard times are going to come. Like, you're going to face a storm in your life, but something that gives me peace in the hard times is knowing that if God doesn't just take a storm away from your life or take it out of your life, He's always with you and He's going to walk through the storm with you. That's definitely the biggest lesson, just as an over arc that I've learned during college.
Yeah, I mean, mine's kind of similar to that. I would say mine is just like maybe adaptation. I mean, coming to
good.
college, I got wrecked, to put it,
Same.
moving away from, my family. I didn't know anyone. I'd only been in Tennessee once before in my life, just like different academic world, different athletic. It was just scary for me, and I don't like change. But, college is that experience where you get thrown into those situations and you
That's
get
what
to
it's
learn
meant to
through
be.
them. Exactly.
Yeah.
You get to learn, you get to grow. Overall, I mean, and that adaptation comes in all kinds of forms. It can come in the academic, athletic, the social. I mean, it comes in every form you can really think of. College throws pretty much everything at you. You got to learn how to deal with it.
It's one giant curveball. And I think we're down to our last question now.
That's all I got. But do you?
Oh,
have
that's
any?
it? I guess that was the last question. Good stuff. All right, guys. This was a ton of fun for us. Just some quick questions and some discussion sort of topics that I'm sure we might actually talk about more later. If you made it this far in the video, I hope you learned something about us. Hope you learned something about Ryan. He hasn't been featured in any other video except for the last one, very briefly.
Until now.
He
Here
gets
I
it. He
am.
gets his own episode, I guess.
Wow, so special. Thank you, Zach.
And thank you to the people that sent in questions. This was pretty fun.
Yes.
We'll have to do this with somebody else later on, maybe even have Ryan back with other people. This was a lot of fun, but thank you guys for watching. I don't know what to say.
Life is hard sometimes.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to the... That's not going to work. It's like a game show. Welcome back, everybody.
No, cut it